See, you want to learn all you can in life. You've got to be willing to experiment. You've got to be willing to learn to dance with life. You know, Larry DeAndre said, if you don't learn to dance with life, life will pass you by and get another partner. I'm saying you're going to have to dance even if you don't want to. You're going to have to dance with life. So you might as well learn you some steps, because it's going to drag you out on the floor anyhow. So you better get out there and try to do the twisters. Try to do something, say, life is just looking all right. Because life going to put some knots on your head anyhow. I mean, he'll come up in the bleachers and slap you before everybody. That's why? It's called life. No one is immune. Just think, just over a year ago, everybody's talking about Donald Trump. He was a darling of America, the American dream fulfilled. Just over a year ago, less than 2 years, everything that people were bragging about, this wealthy, invincible American figure, look what has happened now. Everybody, no one is exempt from that. I was talking to a friend of mine by the name of Maria. And Maria, who was diagnosed as having muscular dystrophy at age 15 and wheelchair bound, figured that enough had happened to her. She was somewhat immune, she felt, unconsciously, from any more accidents or misfortunes in life. Her wheelchair malfunctioned. She fell out, suffered a closed head injury, almost went blind, lost her memory and concentration for a long period of time. She said, on that day, Les, I decided to live. I said, why? She said, life is about today. She said, I felt because what had happened to me, I was exempt somehow. No. Life will knock on everybody's door. I don't care who you are, care how nice you are. Life will come get you. People will dislike you because you're nice. Oh, she thinks she's nice. She's Miss Goody Two-Shoes. People will dislike you because you look better than they do. Because you have more than they do. They'll be envious and make up lies about you and attack you. Be envious of you. Why? I don't know. That's the way they set it up. I don't know. I don't even ask any questions. That's just the way it is. That's the way it is. Handle it. And that's what Maria said. Les, I'm going to live. She said, and they told me I was going to go blind. I said, wait a minute, can you imagine me around a shopping center in a wheelchair and a walking dog too? Oh, no. She said, I'm going to see, Doc. I've got to. And she can see today. That willpower, that determination, very positive, upbeat person. I say, but don't sometimes you feel sorry for yourself, and don't you wish you had the capacity to do what other people do? She said, I don't waste my time comparing my condition with other people, one. And she said, people that suffer from a lack of motivation suffer mainly from a lack of self-appreciation. She said, I know that I have value, and the fact that I'm in a wheelchair doesn't make me any less of a human being who can contribute something to life. And I'm saying that all of us can begin to affirm that my life is worthwhile. Doesn't matter what I've experienced, doesn't matter about what I don't have, doesn't matter about what I've gone through. What's important is that where I am right now, that I live life and I experience my life fully. She said, Les, before the accident, I wasn't living 100% of my life. I said, what were you living? She said, around 20%. And I said, you know what? I said, I know what that's like. See, if you go through life holding back, and most of us do, most of us, if we ask ourselves, have we done all we can do? Most of us will have to answer, no, we haven't. We've been holding back. We have ideas that we don't act on, things we want to do, we're afraid to take chances. We go through life trying to seek security and not coming outside of our comfort zone, and we take most of our stuff with us to the grave. And I'm saying that the fact that you're still here, that you're still breathing, you've got some more work, and you owe it to yourself. You owe it to yourself. So when you get up in the morning, that you can look yourself in the face and say, hey, I'm living my life on my terms. That's important. Not to give up on your dream, not to give up on yourself. Now, are there going to be some moments when you want to give up? Yes. Will there be some moments when it's going to seem like it's impossible? The pain that you're experiencing, the disappointment that you're experiencing, that you're going to say, it's not worth it? Yes, that's going to be right there for you. It's going to be in your face, telling you to go back. You're going to start listening to the buts, and buts will have all kind of help and support from your family members and friends saying, I told you, fool. You're going out to this positive faking stuff. Look at you now. Bet you wish you had that job now. Remember, I lost my job. I was very controversial in Columbus, Ohio. I was in broadcasting. I lost my job, and here's what I learned. That you've got to immediately start using your energy positively. The old folks used to say, an idle mind is a devil's workshop. That's real. I mean, when I didn't have anything to do, my mind used to say, you better go back and get your job. Why did you just shut up? Always running your mouth. Quack, 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 quack. Why did you just hush? You'll be working right now. Broadcasting was all that I knew. And that was my life. I love talking to people, and I love playing the records. Used to come on there, look out, this is Les Brown. All right, get up, face these, raise your right hand, throw your head back, put your teeth in and say, I am somebody. Now here's what you discover when you're real good at what you do. A lot of people find you to be a threat. They won't hire you. Oh, they want people in there they can control or dominate. So if you're a high-powered person, sometimes that can be a liability for you. So it was difficult for me to get a job in broadcasting. Did not get a job in broadcasting. Had to take another route. Had to begin to use my talents and abilities in another area. Wherever you are right now, I'm saying to you, you've got at least 3 or 4 or 5 talents that you are not even aware of right now. And you'll never be aware of them unless you come outside your comfort zone and challenge yourself to develop your talents and abilities, to see what it is that you might have a knack for, that you haven't discovered as yet. See, most people never discover their true potential or their other talents and abilities because they figure that they're one-dimensional. And they don't try and stretch themselves and learn more. Guys say, he who learns the most earns the most. See, if you start learning more things and finding out and experimenting with your life and finding out what else fits for you, here's what you discover, that as you start working with it, and the more you do it, the more you realize other ideas coming to you, the more creative you can become. And then you say, wait a minute, you know, this comes much more easily than I realized. I've developed a knack and a style for this. See, a guy said to me, he said, if you develop your gift, see, you like to talk, you like people. I said, yeah. He said, if you develop your gifts, he said, your gifts will take you a long ways in life. And ladies and gentlemen, because I decided, so I used to be a jack of all trades and master of none. I tried to do everything. I used to be a disc jockey, state representative, community activist, used to do public relations work, used to promote shows, used to be an MC in a nightclub, used to own a nightclub, the Pink Pussycat in Columbus, Ohio. I did everything, sold insurance, you name it, door-to-door salesman. I did it all. But finally, I decided to focus my energy. I looked at all my talents and abilities. I said, well, I got to just find what's my one thing, what's my trump card, what's the one thing that I do better than I do anything else. I said, well, I like to do a lot of things. I like to promote, I like to MC, I like to talk, I like being a disc jockey, program director, I like being a community activist, I enjoyed being a state legislator, but I had to find one thing, and I found that one thing. I decided I was going to develop myself as a speaker. And I started following other speakers around. I started doing research. I would read about Marcus Garvey, Frederick Douglass, Booker T. Washington, Winston Churchill. The truth is incontrovertible. Malice may attack it, ignorance may deride it, but at the end, there it is. Carlyle, truth crushed to earth, shall rise again. I would follow Dr. Otis Moss. I read what Dr. Martin Luther King said. He's the greatest preacher in the world. I used to follow him. Charles Adams out of Detroit, Michigan. Any great speakers, I would follow them and watch them. I'd be in the back just checking them out. Used to watch Billy Graham on television, turn the volume down to watch his hand movements because he's so expressive with his hands. I just became a student of the area that I wanted to become involved in. I would go to the motivational rallies, join the National Speakers Association, and watching all these guys, and then I would work and practice in other areas and developing my own style. Sometimes I would imitate other guys, and eventually what you'll begin to do is that you emerge and develop your own style as you do it and work with and work with and work with and work with it. And I say to you, that is so exciting. People that are working on their dreams and developing themselves, they have a different kind of walk. They have different kind of energy. You can tell in the tempo of their conversation, they walk differently. They have a lot of energy. They have a glow about them. People that aren't working on their dream, see, you can tell in how their movement, their body language, their voice conversation, they're real slow. Hey, I'll just call. I wasn't doing nothing. Thought I'd call you. Well, don't do that over here. They look at a lot of television. What's on? I don't know. I'm just looking. No, you got to watch this. You don't want to be like that. You want to actively be involved in creating life and making it exciting for you. See, if you watch the news all day and read what's happening in the newspaper, you'll be scared to come out your house. Am I right? You'll be scared around here. See, you got to keep the little boy and the little girl alive in you. See, most people don't smile. You know that? Just smile. Just smile sometimes. You know, even if you're homely, you look good when you smile. Why good? Isn't that something? Smile at a homely person on your right or left right quick. You know, now, if you look over there and they're already smiling, then you are the holy one. I'll just play it. I'm glad to be alive. And so I feel like that. You know, Robert Elliott, who's the head of the cardiology department at the University of Nebraska, he suffered a massive heart attack. And he was in the hospital for 3 months. And while there, he reflected on his life after this near-death experience. Because his mother and father, both of them had no history of heart failure. Both of them lived to be over 80. And he wrote something. In order to live a long life and be happy, he said, rule number one, don't sweat the small stuff. And rule number two, it's all small stuff. Isn't that real? That's real. See, if you're working on your dream, sure there are going to be times you're going to want to give up. Sure there'll be times in life I'll knock you down and catch you on the blind side. But the challenge is to hold on. And if you hold on tenaciously, I say the universe is on your side. A way will come out of nowhere. Someone will step forward and help you. Just a blessing. Who are you? I don't know, but thank you for coming. Hey. So don't allow the difficult and challenging times to demoralize you. I love to quote this guy, Charles Udall. He said, in life you will always be faced with a series of God-ordained opportunities, brilliantly disguised as problems and challenges. And I'm saying, in your hands, you have ideas. You have been given something to bring to the universe that was not here before you showed up. See, nobody, ladies and gentlemen, is going to give Les Brown's speech. This is my speech. The motivator from Detroit, it's my speech. You can't take Mamie's boy. You can't take my speech. No, you got to go get your own speech. You can't come up here and take my speech. No. So I'm saying to you, can nobody take your good? See, that which is meant for you has your name on it. No one can take your good from you. That's you. That work you've been given, that idea that you've been given, if you don't come out here with that idea, no one's going to bring your idea out here. Whatever you're sitting on, whatever idea you're working on, whatever passion, you got to be like Johnny Youngblood. He said, hey, I've got to live what's in me. And let me tell you, I'm happier than I've ever been in my life. Why? I got peace of mind. You can't even put a price tag on that. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And I say to you, the universe is calling you. A young lady wrote me a letter once after hearing me speak in Detroit, and I had just finished working with some kids, and it really was a short letter. It was a short letter, but powerful. And the letter read, she said, the voice of greatness has called me, and I'm afraid to answer. Ooh. I felt that. I know what it is not to answer. See, I could have been doing this years ago, but I was afraid to answer. I had these buts that I was hiding behind. Like Gideon, I didn't want to come. Not me, not me. I'm not good enough. I'm not. Wait, let me get ready. Let me get ready. You know, you ever seen those perpetual students? Oh, let me get ready. Let me get ready. Got a friend named Carolyn, been going to school 10 years, got all kind of degrees. Ain't doing nothing in life. You know, I'm saying answer your call. The universe is calling you. Here's something about life. You can't get out of it alive. Hello? You can't get out of life alive. Live now, like Maria said. Live your dream now. So, the other night I had a funeral, and I don't mind doing it again. We buried Butt. We said, Butt, you won't have no place in our lives no more. These dreams you've been killing. Oh, Butt, you ain't gonna kill no more dreams up here. Everybody repeat after me. Butt, get out of my life. Get out of my life. I don't need you no more. I don't need you no more. Don't come back here. Shake somebody's hand on your right and left and say, keep him away. Keep him away. So finally I say, look at your life and decide that my life is beautiful, that my life is meaningful to me. I'm not exactly sure what I want to do, but because my life means so much to me, and there are no guarantees in life, I'm going to live as much as I can each day. I'm going to do what I can where I am right now. And whatever I shared with you, I read a book called It Works If You Work It. That's what Johnny Coleman said. See, if you don't decide to act on your dream, if you don't decide to make a decision to live your life, if you don't decide to step into your fears, if you don't decide to say yes to your life, it will never work for you. The time for just wishing is past. Time for doing, that's the time right now. Time for acting on your dream, holding on courageously, as Winston Churchill said, and not lose enthusiasm. Time to face yourself and talk to yourself in the mirror. Time to look around and become creative and see what need or service that you can provide with high standards so that people will talk about you being a master at what you do because of the commitment of pride and excellence and high standards that you've set for yourself. It's time for you to look within yourself and decide that I'm in charge of my destiny. I'm in charge here, and I'm not going to allow anybody to turn me around. I am determined that I'm going to make it. And here's something, ladies and gentlemen, when you make it important, it's not a preference, it's not negotiable, it's a must. And when you decide, I'm going to do it, regardless of the opposition, regardless of the difficulties, I'm going to make this happen because it's important to me, I'm saying the universe will yield to you and life will never be the same again. Live your dream. This is Mrs. Mamie Brown's baby boy, Leslie Calvin Brown, saying it's been a plum-pleasing pleasure as well as a privilege. Thank you all here. Thank you very much. Thank you.